I guess we are live. Thank you so much for coming live with me. If you can see me, let me see your comments in the comment section telling me that you can see me. Thank you. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. Yes, we are live. Tell me where you are watching me from. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I am the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. All right, if you are here, let me see your comments in the comment section. Thank you for joining me. Please let me see your comment. Yes, Ruth Baba, as usual, is here. Hello, Eunice. I see you. Great, Yada. Thank you for joining me. Good afternoon, Ruth Baba. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From UK, hi, Doris. It's good to have you here. Thank you, Lorita. Yes, Alex. Name it is. What a wonderful name it is. Tell me where you are streaming live from. It is Tuesday Live. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm your host, Wendy Ologe, the founder of Intentional Parent Academy. I'm seeing some childhood old friends in this stream. It's going to be an interesting one. Hi, it's good to see you, Doris. Really good to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Oluwakemi. Thank you, Eunice. Dorita, if you are on YouTube, let's see your comments. Hi, Shehu. If this is your first time, put a hashtag and say this is the first time that you are watching. Hi, Chidima Stanley from UK. It's good to see you. Ade Sola. Tell me where you are streaming live from. If this is your first time on the live stream, tell us that is your first time. Right? Thank you so much. Greetings from Lagos. Hi, Mawuwe. Thank you. Ezine Okore, I see you. If you want to come on stream, you will do that later on. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. It is our Tuesday class, and we are looking at what you can do to help your child improve their academics this year. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Alrighty, if you are just joining me, my name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Right? We are here every Tuesday, looking at the different aspects of parenting. We're going to start in a few minutes. Hi, Yetunde. Good to see you here. Hi, Mba Chichirima. Good to see you. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Adebeju. I see you guys. I see you, Yada. Shout out to you guys. Alrighty. We're going to start in 1 minute as we get ready. It is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ the King. What a wonderful name it is. Oh, nothing compares to this. Alrighty. The name of Jesus. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Clara Martins. I see you. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. All right. Hi, Omolola. Your Yada's in the house. I see you guys. I see you guys. I see you. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to start now. It is 2:05. Yes, yes. So we are looking at 5 ways to improve your child's academics. Jesus Christ the King. If you have followed me long enough, you already know that I have love Hillsong songs. Yes, I love the Hillsong choir a lot. 2 years ago, I found the Hillsong church, and in fact, worship like my life was dependent on it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are joining me for the first time, number one thing you need to know is that I love the Hillsong Choir. And you probably hear me play it a lot of the times. Like 80% of the times you hear me come to speak online. And also, I am the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. All right, if you can see me loud and clear, let me see your comment, and then we will roll from there. Yep. All right. If you're just joining us, we are talking about the people on YouTube want the topic on the screen. All right, so that as soon as you get in here, you would know. All right. So one of the things we're going to be looking at today is how exactly to begin to help your child perform better. All right. Let me see your comment in the comment section. Do you have children who are going into new schools this session? Let me see that comment in the comment section. Going into new schools, going to secondary school, going to primary school. If you have a child who is how do they say it? Transiting. Yes. All right. Transiting. And then that would be good. It would be good to see your comment here, to see what age are your children and where are they transiting to. All right, so this will also help us with this class. So we are looking at 5 ways to improve your child's academics. Invite your friends. We're going to be doing a lot today. Trust me, you want to be here. It is going to really be an amazing session. Okay, so if you have any of those children, please put that in the comment section. Invite your friends, invite your family, share the link, and to someone who would need to actually see this. Okay, so 5 ways you need to improve your child's academics. What are the ways? There are many ways, actually. So there are many ways, but in this session, I am going to be looking at what are the 5 ways that you can use to begin to look at your child's performance and begin to look at it. All right, somebody said, yes, I have one to primary school. Yes. Hello, ma'am, good afternoon. Yes, good to see you. All right, so if you're just coming in, we're talking about 5 ways to improve your child's academic performance. And I asked if you had a child who was transitioning. Let me say this. A few days ago, a parent walked into our session. She had booked a session, walked into that session, and said to me right on that stream, it was an online session, and said, my child, called the child's name, is actually, sorry, let me see, let's be sure that our network on Facebook is okay. I can see that our Facebook stream is a bit draggy. All right, if you can still hear us on Facebook, please. All right. Okay, great. All right, so we're back here. Okay, so I realized that she said, she now said to me that, my child is not very smart. So I'm here to actually learn what I can do since I'm dealing with a child that is not very smart. In fact, I do not want to call him dumb, but he even knows that he's not smart. I was heartbroken hearing that. I tell you why. You know, when you do that, a child actually begins to, a sense of identity can actually make the child, have poor performance because you are labeling. Now, when you begin to label a child, either way, so when we talk about labeling, people think that labeling is all about the children who are being spoken to negatively. No, labeling is on both sides. All right, labeling is on both sides. Both the children who are being spoken to negatively and the children that you're speaking to in the wrong praise kind of thing. I'm going to explain, all right, as we're here. Okay, so you see children, because we begin to look at children's academic results as an indication of their cognitive ability instead of the reflection of how the child is taught. Let me say that again. We see the children's academic performance as an indication of their cognitive ability instead of a reflection of number one, how a child is taught. Now, a child's academic result is a reflection of number one, how a child is taught. Somebody help me write that in the comment section. Is a reflection of number one, how a child is taught. That's one. That's one. Let me see the comments so that I know that we are following. All right. How the child is taught. That's one. Number two, what the child's learning style is also under how the child is taught, because a child who is a kinesthetic learner and being taught just in an auditory format, who is a dominant kinesthetic learner and being taught in an auditory format, is going to probably struggle. So how a child is taught, thank you so much, Lydia. How a child is taught, what the child's learning style is. Yes, how a child is taught, what the child learning style is. When you look at a child who is struggling, right? And you are not able to look at these four things that I'm going to learn, then the child Alrighty, I think we were booted out completely due to faulty network, and we are so sorry about that. All right, I am now here. Please, if you can hear me, please let me know that you can hear me. We were booted out. I don't know what happened. I don't even know how come. Please let me know that you can hear me if you can hear me. We're back online, please. Thank you so much. If you can hear me, do let me know that you can hear me so that we can go on. Okay? Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for following. Can hear you. Thank you so much, Trisha. All right. Thank you so much, Trisha. I can hear you. All right. Yes, we can. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. So sorry about that. We were, I know a lot of people are following on the, I know a lot of people are following on the group. Let us let's make sure that somebody says that sound is off. Please, is sound off? Can we know if sound is off? Can we know if sound is off? Someone is saying that sound is off. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, please do let me know. I can hear you. All right. I can hear you. Okay. All right. Great. I have sound at my end. All right. Great. All right. Great. If you're listening to me in the community, you can actually join us on YouTube. I think is a bit better on YouTube now back. All right. Thank you, Babatunde. Thank you so much if you've been following, and sorry about that. Okay. So we were talking about 5 ways to improve your child's academic performance. And, I talked about how I walked into a session and I found this particular, client telling me that, that she knows that her child is not very brilliant and very smart, really. And, it got me really worried. Because we put up that labeling for children, and then both labeling in the positive and in the negative. People talk about labeling, and when you hear labeling, they talk about negative labeling. There's also the side of labeling that we're also going to be learning today. All right. So how that kind of thing can actually, perform and dampen the performance, all right, identity and all of that. You see a child's academic results. I was saying earlier before I was cut off that a child's academic result is not a reflection of the child's cognitive ability. A child's academic result is not a reflection of the child's cognitive ability. Somebody help me write that. A child's academic result is not a reflection of that child's cognitive ability. Instead, is a reflection of these 4 things I'm going to name for you. Number 1 thing that your child's this thing is not about is that how a child's cognitive ability is a reflection of how a child's performance is a reflection of how the child is taught. That's number 1. How a child is taught. When a child is taught in a way that a child can understand, a child cannot give you results. Thank you, Folano. A child cannot give you the result that you are requesting for. So how a child is taught. Number 2 is how a child learns. I'm going to share examples. If a child is a kinesthetic learner, and you teach the child, a dominant kinesthetic learner like my son is, and you teach the child with a lot of auditory, visual, your teaching does not infuse kinesthetic learning in it, that child is going to struggle. So number 1 is how a child is taught. Number 2 is how the child learns. How is this child taught? How does this child learn? So that a child performs badly academically doesn't necessarily mean that the child had low cognitive ability. That's 2. Number 3, the child's study habit. developed over time. If your child do not have a good study habit, your child is going to have issues trying to actually cope. Now, at the end of this session, we're going to have a full Q&A that you will be able to follow through with. All right. For those of you in the community on Facebook, you might not see that Q&A. You need to come on YouTube to actually go through that Q&A. We're bringing one of my team members. We're going to be, doing the Q&A together. So just stay through to the end. It will help you a lot. All right. So a child's study habit developed over time. A lot of the children that we are raising do not have study habits because we also have not been able to actually put a system, around it. All right. So the child's study habit developed over time. Then number 4, how much effort the child has put in. How much effort the child has put in. If the child had not put in enough effort to get them to the point where they should go, the child will continue to struggle. So who got the 4 points? Let me see your comments in the comment section. Who got those 4 points? Who got those 4 points? Yep. As in no curry, I see you. Who got 4 points? Who got 4 points? I see you, Chidim. I see all of you coming in. If you're just joining me, my name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy, and your chief host on the Tuesday Live on TIP. All right. Yep, I do. All right, great. Some people already got the 4 points. All right. How a child is taught, what the child's learning style is, what the child's study habits are that have been developed over time, and the last one, how much effort the child has put in. So before you crucify that child, make sure, right, that all of these things have actually been put in place. Make sure that all of these things have been put in place. All right. So the most powerful thing, someone help me write this. The most powerful thing any child must be taught is that learning is a skill. The most powerful thing that any child must be taught is that learning is a skill. You don't just learn. There's a skill to learning. And we need to teach our children to understand that there is a skill to learning. So we're not just, you're not just, putting and just say, oh, anybody can learn. No, there's a skill that actually follows learning. And that's the most powerful thing that any child should learn. The same way you learn how to play table tennis, the same way a child learns how to walk, the same way a child learns how to crawl, is the same way a child learns how to learn. And that is why, excuse me, that is why we all do not learn the same way. We all do not learn the same way. And one of the things that you must put into consideration is that learning is a skill. That's one of the most powerful things your child can learn. All right, great. So now let's now deviate a bit about negative learning before I talk about learning as a skill. Negative labeling. So negative labeling is not the only thing that is harmful. Research has shown that constantly telling your child that he's smart could actually be as bad as the labeling. All right? Could actually be as bad as the labeling because it creates a fixed mindset. It creates the fixed identity. Now, what does this fixed identity do? The fixed identity makes the child feel compelled to protect that identity at all costs. To protect that identity at all costs, which now comes at a cost that is very dangerous. So when you praise your child and say, oh, you're a very smart kid, oh, you're very smart, that can be as dangerous as telling your child you are dumb. Oh, yes, you heard me right. That can be as dangerous as telling your child that you're dumb. One of our reads for the inner circle system next year, I haven't even shared it with the parents in the inner circle, but we're going to be reading The New Psychology of Success by Professor Carol Dweck. And he was the one that, talked about mindset. She was the one that, did the research on mindset, on how the mindset actually can change a lot of the things that we do with our kids. And her studies show that people who are praised for innate intelligence tend to shy away or give up quickly on challenges that threaten their smart identity. Remember, we talked about smart identity, right? So smart identity is something that people go at all costs to actually protect. So it's that smart identity that we are actually talking about. So that can actually make people, when they get to a point where they need to put in effort, they don't. Because what is praised is the result, not the effort, not the process. Very important for you to learn. All right. Children with growth mindset don't connect outcome of their tests to their sense of self-worth. There was a research done on children who were, praised for their outcome and children who were praised for their process. It was found that when the same test was given to them again, the children who were praised for being smart actually did poorly, much more poorly than the children who were praised for their effort. Now, that's, a whole lot in the book Mindset, all right? So it is children who grow, with that mindset, the growth mindset, not the fixed mindset. They don't connect outcome. That's why a lot of people who have fixed mindset are the people who commit suicide, because they have that thing of, it's about the outcome. So it's also a thing. And in this generation, it has become it's become a big deal and something that you actually need to take note of. Because right now, it's all about the system of the results, which is actually doing more harm than it is doing any good. So children who have growth mindset are more likely to develop and actually demonstrate more grit. They are more likely to stay when learning gets tough than the children who actually do have a fixed mindset. The fixed mindset are the children you are telling, oh, you're very smart. You are actually the smartest. And I know who is guilty. Who is guilty? Let me see your comment in the comment section. Who is guilty of telling a child you are actually very smart, or telling a child you are actually very dumb? These two things, they are all a system of fixed mindset. You do not want to raise your child with a fixed mindset. All right. In fact, this is one of the books that can, change a lot. Somebody said, Mio, thank you for being sincere. It can change a lot in the way you think. All right. If you really understand this concept. Okay. So let me give you examples of fixed mindset and growth mindset. I'm going to give you some examples. Hello, Facebook community. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me see. I asked the question. Who here? Who is this person? Is it only one person that is guilty? Nestor Uche, you are the only one that have either been on the fixed mindset road. How about you guys? That's not true. Chinwenwa Woko, thank you so much. Thank you so thank you. Okay, thank you. Now, people are commenting, right? Thank you for being sincere. Stacy says me. All right, thank you. So I was saying that a lot of us are actually guilty of the fixed mindset. Oh, many of us. Until I came in contact with Carol Dweck, I was there as well. So I'm not coming here to come and tell you, no, by the time they gave birth to me, I already understood fixed mindset and growth mindset. That's not true. All right. So we are all on a journey to learn. That's the point. All right. We are all on a journey to learn, and you must understand that. So, a lot of the times we tell our children, oh, you're very smart, oh, you're a very smart person. We do it with great intentions. And like I say always, intentions are not enough when it comes to parenting. Intentions are not enough when it comes to parenting. You need to add knowledge to your intentions. So your intention is actually to praise a child that is doing well and actually just, do a lot of these things and all of that. But beyond praising that child that is doing well, could be, you doing a lot of harm to the brain of that child. So let me share the difference between, the fixed mindset and the the growth mindset. I'm going to also share a lot of it at the back to school masterclass that I'm going to be sharing. We're starting on Friday to Saturday. So back to school masterclass, we're going to be talking about a lot of this. So time won't even permit me to tell you, all the things that I would need to tell you about. But let me give you an example of fixed mindset and growth mindset. Fixed mindset says, growth mindset says, I can learn to do anything I want. Fixed mindset says, I am either good at it or I am not. I am either good at it, I am not. There's no in-betweens. All right? There are no in-betweens. That's what the fixed mindset actually does to you. So it tells you there are no in-betweens. Is that I'm good or I'm not? And a lot of us were raised with a fixed mindset, which is also one of the reasons why we have refused to learn. Because, you tell people things like you can actually teach and raise your child without having to yell and beat them. They will tell you, no, that's what we know. It's fixed mindset. That's why you're there. Oh, yes, that's why you're there. It's a big deal. That's why you're there. All right. So it is something that, you say without even thinking, right? That, okay, these are the things that I'm doing. Then growth mindset tells you, all right? Growth mindset tells you my effort determines my ability. That's what growth mindset teaches you. Fixed mindset teaches you my potentials are predetermined. Now, my potentials are predetermined. I'm already there. There's nothing else. That is who I am. Have you ever heard people say that thing? That's who I am. That's who I am. And that's how I am. That's how I was raised. A lot of people in Nigeria were raised with a fixed mindset. In fact, not even just Nigeria, the world over, in our generation, were raised with a fixed mindset. Where, you say things like you're stuck up. Growth mindset says, I like to try new things. Let me even try this new method that is being taught. Okay, we're in the positional parent community. Okay, this coach have been saying this. Let me even try. That's what growth mindset does to you. Fixed mindset says, I will stick to what I know. I will stick to what I know because that's what I was taught. So you see that thing that we say, our parents did it to it. We survived it. After all, we didn't die. It's fixed mindset. It's a problem. It's actually a fixed mindset. It's not a growth mindset. All right. So, and then you now have, you also have another difference. I am inspired by the success of others. Growth mindset makes you get inspired by the success of others. All right. And then the other part, that's a fixed mindset. I don't like to be challenged because you believe. Have you ever heard of children who actually do things bad to the children who come in newly to their school, and they either punish them, bully them just because they are smarter than they are? Fixed mindset. Yes, Susan. All right. If you are in the inner circle, you must have heard me talk about not telling your child that you are smart. There's a negative effect of praising the innate intelligence. Thank you for pointing that out, Susan. Very key. All right. It is something about, and there is a consequence for it. There is a consequence for it. I'm going to stop here, but if you're going to join us in the inner circle for the back to school masterclass, I will teach you more on mindset and the new psychology of success. All right, the way that it will be very useful to you. Then one thing that you will need to know, we're talking about 5 ways to improve your child's academic performance. Number 1, are you ready to hear the 5 ways? By the way, are you getting value here? If you are getting value here, have you tagged someone? Have you shared this to somebody? If you are getting value here, have you tagged someone? Have you shared this video on your timeline? Have you shared this link with someone to come and listen to you? Before we continue, I want to hear you to say that you have value or not. Have you spent this 30 minutes well or not? Let us see your comments in the comment section before we begin to look at the 5 ways to improve your child's academic performance. How do I improve my child's academic performance? What do I need to do? Right? I can see. Yes, thank you so much. You can share the fire emojis as usual. That is what we use. The fire emojis helps us to know whether you're getting value or not. So if you have value, all right, somebody said, wow, I'm really enjoying this. Thank you so much, Yomi. If you are getting value, share. All right, getting value. Yes, share. It's all right. Share to your contacts. Let them join in, because we are now getting to the crux of the matter, where we are now saying, what are the 5 ways? Like I said, this is not limited. There are about 15 ways that we have been able to put together on how you can help your child actually grow, right? I'm going to just be sharing 5 ways. And if you are going to attend that masterclass that is hosted in the Inner Circle this weekend, then you can actually put it all together and come in here. All right, thank you. Okay, so we just finished talking about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Is an intriguing concept that every parent will like to learn. If you want to learn more about fixed mindset and growth mindset, it is one of the modules that we have coming up in the Inner Circle. You want to join us? We're adding that to the modules in 2022. You want to actually be there. You can ask me how you would want to join the Inner Circle. Trust me, this is just a tip of the iceberg. All right, thank you. So if you're getting value, share this video, tag your friends, tell people to come in to watch with you. All right. Number 1 thing that you want to do if you want to improve your child's academic performance, teach your children to embrace struggle. You see that thing that you're constantly going to go and rescue your child, you are doing them a disservice. Somebody help me write that in the comment section. Teach your children to embrace struggle. You see struggle, there is, in fact, I heard one of my coaches say, there is honor in struggle. Teach them to embrace struggle. I will tell you why. I am going to tell you why. Yes. All right. In neuroscience, I have a medical background, so I'm going to try to actually get a bit of it explained to you so that you will understand why you should stop. You should stop getting your children out of every fire they fall into. Why you should stop helping your children do their homework. Why you should stop being in the middle of everything to help your child solve every problem. Teach your children to embrace struggle. In neuroscience, it shows us that our brain, right, has the ability to rewire and upgrade itself. So whenever you want to gain competence, whenever you want to consolidate a new knowledge, whenever you're learning something, the brain will begin to struggle. Now, that effort, that strain, that thing that you call struggle is actually the brain stepping up to the new task. So the brain will begin to step up to the new task. So when you teach your children to honor the struggle, it helps your children to begin it helps their brain to actually begin to learn. All right. So when a new concept is introduced, the brain tries to step up. So the brain tries to step up to meet up with whatever it is that you have introduced to it. Now, the neurons in the brain string together to consolidate the information. It's a process we call myelination. So when myelination happens, those neural networks are wired firmly together. And that's when learning actually takes place. I hope I didn't confuse you. I hope I didn't confuse you. But what I have just said is that you should allow your children struggle to do that math. You should allow your children struggle to read that thing. Let them struggle. I saw my children, I gave them a 400-page book, tiny words, written by their granddad. And I saw them, before then I had given them a 300-page book. They struggled with it, all right? And by the time I had done that once, twice, they read this particular book with so much ease because the brain has come to understand that there is a concept, there is a new thing that is happening. So the brain has stepped up in focus, stepped up in memory assimilation. So it's helping the brain, all right? The brain is being helped to now come to the level, where it should be. Eunice said, I have succeeded in confusing her. I am sorry. All I have said is that your children just need to learn. Forget all the medical, the neuroscience jargon I have spoken today. All right? Forget all the neuroscience jargon I've spoken today, okay? Let that be in your head. Let that be in your head. That all of what I have said is that you need to allow your children struggle at things. When they do, the brain is trying to get it and to upgrade to that level. Don't rescue your child. I'm going to say something, all right? One of the I said something earlier, right? Before I explain the concept of confidence. One of the most powerful tools you could give your child is the tool of understanding that learning is a skill. And that struggle means growth. Struggle means growth. Struggle is not negative. When your child is struggling, it means that your child is growing. When your child is struggling, it means that the brain, is growing at something, is learning something. So allow your children to struggle. I'm sure you must have heard me say, allow your children to fail. I'm sure you must have heard me say that. Put a system that lets your children fail at a thing. Oh, yes, you heard me right. All right. The people in the inner circle would actually, understand this better when I say allow your children fail. Now, I like the way Benjamin Hardy, the author of Willpower Doesn't Work, puts it. All right. The author of Willpower Doesn't Work says that many of us misunderstand confidence. So people don't do well because they are confident. Somebody help me write that. People don't do well because they are confident. No, that's not why. In fact, confidence is a byproduct. That's why I have seen people who are foolishly confident. So you can do poorly confidently. So confidence is a byproduct. No, so it's not confidence. All right. People don't do well because they are confident. No. It's not, that's not why. Okay? That's not why. There are many, it's just a byproduct. It's just a byproduct. It's just a byproduct. Okay? So if your child, you say, oh, I need to build my child's confidence, so the child, people will tell you, oh, build the child's confidence. If you build the child's confidence, why become smart? It's a lie. It's just a byproduct, right? So people, so it's a direct confidence is actually, it's a direct reflection of previous successful actions. Now, the previous successful action could be anything. Could be in the negative, it could be in the positive, it could be failure, it could be anything. So that's how the brain interprets it. Then the brain builds confidence because it's a byproduct. It is not, again, it is not something that you can just, get. So I usually, I've heard one of my mentors say that people can become foolishly confident. Have you ever heard that before? You're foolish, but you're very confident. Very, very confident about your foolishness. So you need to actually, all right, you need to actually begin to do a lot more. Hi, Mama Berry. Thank you for being here. You need to actually be able to do more. Parenting is, when you study some things about the brain, neuroscience, there are a lot of things that we will say that you will be like, okay, I wish I just knew these things. Even me, there are a lot of things that I have, seen that I wish I knew since, right? Oh yes, people can be foolishly confident, as in they are confident, but they are confident in their foolishness. So confidence does not, all right, is not something, it's not, well, it doesn't make people understand or perform better and all of that. Is just a byproduct of a direct reflection of the previous successful action, whatever it is that your brain interprets as successful as at that time. All right. Number two, I said number one, you should teach your children. You should teach your children about struggle. Number one. Number two, stop telling your children they are smart or they are dumb. Commend the effort. You need to look at the effort that the child is putting in. My elder brother once had a child that he tutored when he was, younger, was tutoring younger children. And I remember that this child was said to be dumb, couldn't learn anything and all of that. In 5 months, I saw this guy move from 30, a bottom rock of the class, to number 3. What happened? Mindset. What happened? He started to look at the effort that the guy is putting in and began to look and push the effort and forget about the result. So he kept looking at the effort. He kept looking at the effort. He kept pushing the effort of this guy. And before you knew it, this guy was number 3 in mathematics. Crazy. The parents couldn't believe it. One of the things that the parents told him when he took in the guy, the young boy, was that he's not very smart. You need to be really patient with him. And I am sure that he's going to repeat this class. But I just want to give it a try. That guy came out tops of his class eventually. That guy came out tops of his class eventually. So it is important that you begin to look at things differently. Stop telling your children they are dumb, but they are smart. Begin to tell your children that their efforts is actually what is worth it. Number 2, get them to do their own research about learning. You, first of all, we need to understand how your child learns. Now, when you get your children to do their own research about learning, it helps your children, right, to understand what is happening. And then they will learn learning styles. They will understand how they learn. They will understand how they learn. And then it will also trigger something in them to now begin to put in effort. Now, remember that I told you that one of the best things you can do for your child is to help them understand learning skills. I said, and I'm going to say it again, learning is a skill. You don't just learn like that. It is a skill. So get them to do their own research about learning and understanding learning style. Number 3, understanding learning style. I want to put in more words to it, right? We run a course called Understanding Your Child Learning Style. That course has liberated many parents. Unfortunately, we don't even have it in the coffers to run it this year. I don't think so. But you can run it at your own pace without the group running it. If you have struggles in that manner, you would want to reach out to us to take it privately on your own and just run through it. It will help you a lot and it will save the soul of your child. Number 3, help them build focus and improve memory. Help them build focus and improve memory. A lot of the times we do not even understand, all right? We don't understand that building focus and improving memory is something that our children, oh wow, sorry, let me ensure that my laptop isn't going off. Thank you. All right. So sorry about that. Just realized that this is almost off. Okay, thank you. All right, so it is important that we build focus and improve memory. How do you build focus? One of the ways that I have been able to build focus during this holiday is we had to put, focus into the holiday plan. If you have the holiday bundle, you will see where the skills building part is. I had to look at my children are getting into secondary school, and I'm looking at building focus. No matter how smart your child is, If your child is not able to build study skills, not able to build focus, do not understand that learning is a skill, they will fail at it. It doesn't matter how smart they are. So you need to help your children to build focus. Get them to read more than to watch the screen more. A lot of the times I've seen us, try to put up this screen thing. You tell people, they say, oh no, oh, my child will need to watch the screen. I can count how much screen my children actually watched even during this holiday. Because I am intentional and I have a plan. I do not want to do one of the, so I studied, I was saying in the other stream that I studied distraction management recently. All right. So that I think there's something, such a thing as a distraction manager, distraction management, distraction manager, right? How to help children build focus. So in the next 10 years, we're actually going to be pretty very much swamped because people do not understand that the screen is going to take away focus from the system that they are currently building with their children. And it is a big deal. Build focus today. Don't fall into that trap. Because when you get to me in consulting, I will charge you without looking back. Trust me, I will. But if you can actually deal with this now, you will have less to worry about. Get them off the screen. Get them to read more. Let your children be able to build more focus. When they finish a kind of book, get them to read a kind of, improve the process. Keep improving the process as you are going. Don't keep them at a level. Keep improving the process as you're going. It's going to really help them a lot when it comes to, how they are learning. All right. So that, and then improving memory, it's also done with a lot of cognitive exercises. All right. I'm going to be sharing some of the cognitive exercises that we can have during that back to school masterclass. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. I'm going to be sharing with the parents who will be at that masterclass this weekend. Time will not permit me to do that. And then number 4, help them create a structure and stick to a daily habit. I have said it before. Everything about intentional parenting is about structure. Everything about intentional parenting is about structure. If there are no structure, your children do not understand structure, forget it. It is going to be a lot of struggle. So there has to be structure. Sometimes people tell me that, oh, when we launched the holiday bundle, I remember a parent coming to me and saying that, oh, that's all she does during the holiday is just allow the children to just watch TV, just play. And I get it. Holiday is for you to, play, watch TV, blah, 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 and all of that. But if you do not plan and if you do not have a structure, you will fall into the mess of having a system that actually doesn't work. Create a structure for your children if their academic performance is going to improve. Let there be a structure. Whatever you need to do to create structure for your children, do it. Whatever it is that you need to do to create structure for your children, do it. Structure and then habits. There was a session that we had, and I was teaching about habit that lasts, and skills that transform. If you're able to get this, then your children will be able to learn. Habit that lasts and skills that transform. That's what you need on your journey. All right? Don't ask me for that. If you want further explanation, come into the inner circle. All right? So help them create structure and stick to it. The last one, teach them study habits. There are study habits. Remember that we said earlier that learning is a skill. Learning is a skill. Teach them study habits. If your children do not learn study habits, then they will not be able to actually do much. Remember when we said from the beginning that a child's academic performance, all right, that a child's lack of academic performance is not a function. It's not a function of, sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. My stand had a bit of a challenge. Alrighty. Okay, so I said that a child's academic performance is not an indication of the child's cognitive behavior, right? It's not an indication of a child's cognitive behavior. It's not, how you value or how you measure the cognitive behavior of the child. A child's academic performance is a reflection of how a child is taught, the child's learning style, how a child is taught, the child's learning style, the child's study habit developed over time, and how much effort the child has put in. If you haven't been able to ascertain all of this, never say that a child is performing badly. All right? It is not a function of your child, it's not a reflection of your child's cognitive skills. Your child's academic performance is not a reflection of your child's cognitive skills. Alrighty. So as we begin to look at your questions, remember that time wouldn't permit me to say all. This is just a tip of the iceberg of what we're going to be teaching in the inner circle this season, this weekend for the Back to School Masterclass. It is an inner circle masterclass, and if you want to join us, you pay a token to join us. You were supposed to actually pay a 20,000 naira. We'll give a promo for 5,000. That promo had ended, but we'll leave another 24 hours if you want to join that Back to School Masterclass. If you've gotten any kind of value here, trust me, this is a joke to what it is that is going to happen at that masterclass. I won't be the only one speaking. We are also going to be having other coaches. We're going to be having some of my team members as well. And we're also going to be having one of my mentors come in as well. So we're getting into the Q&A question, and we have Precious in the building. And
good evening, good afternoon.
Hi, Precious, good afternoon. So if you have questions on learning, you want to share it. If you are watching me on our Facebook community, on the community on Facebook, and you want to be part of that masterclass, simply put masterclass in the comment section. If you are watching me on YouTube, all you need to do is to take a look. All you need to do is to take a look at the description, right? The description would help you to get all the details that you need and require to be at that masterclass. All right. And you can also look at my screen. My screen is going to also show you details of how you can be part of that masterclass coming up this weekend. That masterclass is coming up this weekend. And please, this promo is only for today. So if you're looking at my screen, this promo, you're seeing the promo, please, it's only for today. After today, you would have to pay 20K to be in that masterclass. If you want to be in that masterclass, just put masterclass in the comment section and you will get details of that masterclass. So trust me, you don't want to miss this masterclass. If you have heard anything that wowed you today, so you can imagine what happens in the inner circle and what it is that we share. All right. So if you're still following us, please move over to my timeline. You can just check my timeline to join the Q&A session if you want to join the chat, or you move to our YouTube channel straight. All right. So we are going to be ending the session on our Facebook community, but on our Facebook community, yes. But the if you can see anything on the screen, then you are good. That means you are in the Q&A session. All right, you are in the Q&A session. So, but I think we'll just leave this on for the Facebook community in case we would need to respond to all the questions and all of that, and they will be able to see it. All right, so if you can hear me, you can please put your questions in the comment section so that we can take your questions. Hi, Precious. It's good to have you here.
Hi, Coach. Thank you so much for the privilege. Glad to be here.
All right, there is a question coming in here from Facebook. Interestingly, this question is from Facebook. I don't know how this person is going to hear it, but we're going to still talk about it. He said, please, which structure is appropriate for 2 to 3 years? Okay, I'm going to allow Precious to talk about this. Precious is also a learning coach. She's also part of the academy. She's one of the coaches in the academy as well. And she will also be at that masterclass. And so Precious will be sharing a few things about this question, and then I would ask if there is need. Go ahead, Precious, please.
All right, for your 2 to 3 year old, it's important you understand that that age group rely a lot on routine. Those preschoolers, they do not thrive with confusion. So one thing you want to do in setting a routine is having a timetable in your home. So when it's morning, what time do they wake? What time do they have their breakfast? What time do they do their learning activities if they've not started school yet? So having a routine for your 2 to 3 year old is so important. And for your older children, you can be a bit flexible, but the preschoolers want to understand what they are doing per time. So if it's morning, when are they waking? When are they having breakfast? What are they doing by 10? The reason why children throw tantrums is because they do not understand what to do. There's a lot of confusion. This time you're having your breakfast by 11, the other time you had it by 7 a.m. So they're asking, what's really happening here? So have a time bound routine for your preschoolers. In the morning, we have our breakfast by this time. It allows preschoolers love to be able to predict what's happening next. That prediction gives them a bit of control over their time. It gives them a bit of control over all the overwhelming things that's happening. Let me give this
Yeah.
instance. Just imagine that normally your routine is that your child naps by 12 p.m. And a certain 12 p.m., you allow them watch the screen. To you, you might just be giving them what they want. They want to watch cartoons, but to them, they become cranky. And in your mind, you're asking, what exactly is wrong with you? You want to watch the TV. Now you're crying. You know, you've shifted that child away from their routine. And of course, you're going to have all those tantrums. So have a time specific structure in your home. 7 a.m. What do we do by 7 a.m., 8 a.m.? What do we do 9 a.m.? And I also want to advise that even if you're preschoolers, because most 2 to 3 year olds might not have started school properly, you want to incorporate learning activities to their routines as well. So they don't go the whole day just loitering around and probably disturbing you. But if you have activities, in the holiday bundle, we have amazing activities you can do for your preschoolers by 11 a.m. Okay, let's do our pre-writing activities. By 12, okay, let's do our number, by 3, okay, let's go outside and play. Toddlers or preschoolers want to be able to predict your next step. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much, Precious. I usually will say that unpredictability is an error in parenting. If your children cannot predict what can happen, it's called accountability as well. All right. If you must hold, for people who are asking, someone is asking for 6 and 8 years, hold them accountable. If you must succeed as a parent, you want to put in a system of accountability. That is actually the way. For younger children, like Precious have said, you need structure. You see that thing that you call discipline, that jumping about and gree is actually structural. And it's not the problem of a child. It is the problem of a parent. So if that is a problem of parent, it means that there is something that the parent isn't doing that the parent will need to do. How will this activity with preschoolers fit in? Somebody is asking, Precious, how would this
Okay.
activity with preschoolers fit in?
Okay, fitting where? Is it fitting your family routine? Now, these activities, right? It's just assume your child is going to school, right? So rather than just leaving them to play around the home, have specific times that you do specific learning activities with them. So I want to understand your question, Chinasa. Fit into what? Is it fit into your structure, your routine? Is it fit into your home? Okay, fitting with a busy mom. Now you the question. All right. So your preschoolers do not need so much time. Okay, they don't need it. I'm not asking you to engage them for 3 hours at a stretch. No, while you are busy, if they're at home, you can instruct their older ones to engage them with shape sorting activities. They can color, they can play with the Play-Doh. There are tons of things they can do. They can go outside and mold with the sand. So you can actually instruct your caregivers on what to do, but do not leave your preschoolers to just play around. Unstructured play doesn't help your preschoolers. They want to have a structure to their play. Okay, are we doing writing activities? Are they learning their sounds? Are they having their puzzles? If you're leaving them to just play around, you are not going to have a structure to their play.
Okay, so I think Precious got hooked there. I think as a busy mom, one of the things that you want to do is to create routine. Create routine and make sure, okay, Precious, you're back. Create
Yes, ma'am.
routine and make sure that the people who are parenting with you, your co-parenting, co-parent are also involved. Your co-parents are also involved in the process because many of the times you are not the only one. I agree that is also with the preschoolers all the time. You want to actually begin to look at how you can help that preschooler to be in a structure. So get a structure, get a routine. Our back to school bundle had a routine structure. If you're looking for what exactly to put together as regards structure, that back to school bundle will help you actually look at your structure and create something and then share it with whoever that is with the preschooler and follow up on it and make sure that that is actually being done. There's another
Yeah.
question. How can this be applied in school? Though I have been inviting some of the school parents on the intentional parent group, not their, I guess it's the group, not the academy. All right. All right. Thank you. Can this be, in fact, Precious, you've taught in a school before. Ngwa, over to you.
Okay, how can the activities be? Is it when your child is in school or school proper? Now, one
I,
thing you
I
need to
think I think the
understand.
person is asking how can these activities be done in school? As in, how can you put in this structure? I guess the school has a structure, but please share. Go ahead,
Yes,
please.
the school has a structure now from 8 to 9. That's one thing I really love about the school structure. That is why we have results as educators, because there is time allocated to important activities. We don't just run wild. Okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? Right? So your school, you don't have any problem if you know you picked the right school for your child. They've definitely ingrained this into
I
your
think
your
I like
preschoolers
the part of
day to
picking the
day.
right school.
Yeah.
So now I think that's where the real challenge is picking the right school because I've come to a place where I've actually been to a school, where children should, toddlers were being cared for. I spent a few hours there, and Precious, what I saw is that the children just watch TV for those 3 hours. And that is actually what is applicable in many
In lots
schools
of, yeah.
for your children at that age. I guess that's what this parent is asking. What can be done?
Okay, so my simple response would be, if your child, your preschooler school is TV, excessive screen time that is damaging their brain, please pull out. There is really nothing, because your child is spending their productive hours in the school. When you come back home, they've watched a lot of TV, they've played, they are tired, and you really can't do anything at home. So if your child is going to go to school, you want to ensure that they are going to a school you can trust what they are doing.
Part of what it is that we're going to be doing at this master class is to be sharing. I will be taking that topic, how to even get the right school for your child. I think that
Very
that's the
important.
first place we even need to start with. A lot of the
Yes,
children
ma'am.
are in school where they have no business being. There's a lot of struggle. How do we know a good school? At this, we're going to be sharing at that master class.
Join
How
the
you know,
master class.
just join the master class. Now, it's not really about just a good school, all right? It's about the school that is right for your child. It's about the school that is right for your child. A school might be right for your neighbor's child, but it's not right for
But
your
it's
child.
not for your child. True.
It's not right for your child. So these are some of the things that you need to consider. All right. So it's important for you to come and understand what you should be looking out for. I have made a wrong school choice before, 2 times. And like they say, no be person tell me. Like, it's something that is it can damage your child. Those children that are being kept in those, daycares, we scream from morning till night. We do not know the resultant effect to the brains of these children. And yet we're all there shouting, oh, I'm a busy mom. I'm a working mom. I'll just drop the child in one crate. Please do your due diligence.
Do your
Don't
due
just go
diligence.
and just drop your child anywhere. Please, if you cannot care for your child yourself, do your due diligence where it is that you're dropping your child for learning. So picking the right school choice, making the right school choice is a big deal. And like I said,
Very
time won't
good.
even permit me So it's a whole class, it's a master
The
class.
whole module.
A whole module in that master class. And I'm going to
Yeah.
be teaching that. So you want to come on board in that master class. Trust me, for 5K, that is the least you will be able to get it in these 24 hours. And as soon as that is off, we are off, the radar. If you join that master class, I can assure you, it's a master class for um it's a master class for
For the inner
the
circle.
inner circle parents. We call them the yadas. If you are angry, it's okay. You can join us in 2022. We actually do it to pepper you somehow. So so it's also okay,
Can I
right?
say something, Ma?
Yes, please.
Along the lines of picking schools for preschoolers, I know a lot of parents, once they get to that stage where they want to pick a school for their child who's probably 18 months, they're thinking of places with the fanciest of buildings, the AC, do they have AC, CCTV? Those things are important. But one of the reasons I'm very passionate about early childhood learning is because those kids are in their formative years. And to a
Yes.
very large extent, what you do in that formative years will influence and affect what happens in their later years of learning. The brain
Definitely.
is at its most malleable stage. Of course, there's plasticity, it can increase, it can upgrade, it can stretch. But what you do in the beginning, what you do in those first 3 years will affect.
Very
So why
key.
don't you salvage those 3 years and decide and understand what am I going to choose in a crèche? If you see a crèche that has a TV, please carry your child
And
carefully.
run away.
Run! I almost said run.
You know,
Coach,
parents don't know this.
it looks as if it's fancy. They have a plasma TV,
It's
there's Disney
grand.
Plus, PBS, and and you think it's your child is going to the cream de la cream of preschools, but they are damaging. And what happens is that once there is that TV, it distracts the caregivers. So when there is not appropriate accountability, once the children are crying, they just go to the TV, pew, and it's on. No,
And that's it.
and that's it. And for the whole day, that TV is even if there are learning materials there, but there's nobody checkmating the caregivers because they assume they are children.
Yeah,
What do they
yeah,
know? And in doing that, we are
yeah, yeah,
damaging those
yeah.
formative years.
Yeah, very, very, very key. The choice of school for the children, all right, is a big, big deal, right? Clara said almost every crèche has a TV. I agree with you. There are a few that understand that and that they don't have. It's actually something that we started to, teach. I had a session in a school and I told them to pull out the TVs in the crèche. They were all looking at me. I said, if you cannot do it, shut it down. All right, shut it down in the time being. It's actually a system of lack of knowledge. That's what is happening. And a lot of people do not know that it actually affects, and then they said, this just hits me honest. I'm regretting never putting my children in the same school with my neighbor's children. Aha! My neighbor is there. The children are doing well. You just carry them and just go and put them. It's not the same thing. Please understand the peculiarity of your child. Understand why your child is going where they are going, and that will really, really help you. Amara said, what do I look out for in the school? Amara, come to the inner circle, all right? And you would learn it at the master class. Just register for that master class. Trust me, you would be glad you did.
You'll be
What
glad
if
you
the
did.
television showing?
Shows
What
are
if the television
educating,
shows educating like
like
sound
sound
learning?
learn. All right. So let me give you this response. If you I invite people to the academy, we have I think it's a free guide that tells you a lot about screen time. Now, this is what premature exposure to screen time does to your children, right? It causes premature thinning of their prefrontal cortex. Now, this is the part of the brain that is in charge of memory, self regulation, impulse control. Now, when you start exposing children, right, prematurely, now, when should children start watching TV? From 18 months, and there is a limited time, less than 1 hour per day with adult supervision. Now, if you're not going to stick to these guidelines by people who have done research on this, then please don't expose them at all. And what I do for my toddler is I limit screen time to the barest minimum, and we use an app. It's called Boom Music Player. So those your sounds learning, you find like Coco Melon and the rest of them. You find those playlists in that app. So I just play it for her. She sings along without needing to see. Now it causes me to be a lot more creative because those things that she's supposed to be watching, I'm now dramatizing. I'm using our learning figurines and models at home to dramatize. So when we learn animal rhymes. She has animals, so we're acting, and it's boosting creativity a lot more than just feeding children with screen. So get that app. It's an amazing app. It will help. Then if your child must watch the screen less than 1 hour in a day.
All right, so there is a recommendation, and if you're listening, you can get the book. If you invite people to the community, you get the
Fine,
screen
guys.
time addiction. How much is too much? I actually created that book during the pandemic, and I realized that it was one of the key things that parents have actually been missing. All right, a lot of us just kept the children in front of the TV and all of that. 10 years ago, as far back, my children didn't understand what was Cartoon Network and all of those things that you guys put them on. All right, so that Precious, you can type the name of the app so that they will be able to get it. So
All
put
right.
them up and all of that. So you need to actually begin to look at screen time. So get that screen time book. Go through it. It's a 5 minutes read or 10 minutes read. It's not more than that. But you'll be able to
Yeah.
learn the damages that you're doing to your child. So when people tell me, but the child is learning is an education thing. Oh, they are learning an educational stuff. All right, and all of that. The truth of the matter is that the brain doesn't understand that your child is learning an educational thing. I don't know if that makes sense to you. The brain does not get it. The brain will interpret it as screen, and it is shutting down. It is shutting down the learning center of your child. It doesn't matter what you call it. If you want, say, oh no, because we are learning, we are, this thing, it's okay to just put them. The skills your child would need to survive in the 21st century is not on
I'm
the
not in the
screen.
screen.
You've heard me shout this over and again.
Never
It's not
again.
on the screen. I tell you to the parents in the inner circle, if you're putting your child on the screen, you're on your own. Shut it down if you can. Remove it to the barest minimum. I was watching Serena Williams' session, and she was saying that her toddler, who is about 3, has never seen the screen before. And it's so intentional. You need to actually get intentional about all of these things if you actually want to get it right. So the name of the app is Boom Play.
Yeah, boom
Boom
play.
Pla. Yes, please, Boom Play. Okay. So you need to actually begin to look at all of this. It helps you. It helps you. It's called Boom Play. I'm sending it. All right. I'm sure you can say it. All right. Pressure, just tell us a bit about the master class as we begin to round up.
All right, so the master class is your best bet for preparing your child for a successful school year. Success is not accidental. You can just push children to school and expect them to come back with results that will wow you if you're not ready to do the work. So that back to school master class, you're coming to be propelled, to be equipped with what will. The truth is that by the end of next academic year, you're going to see the difference. And by 2022 back to school masterclass, we'll be using your reviews to convince others. So join the masterclass. It is worth every dime, and it's really not worth much at all. Thank you, Ma.
All right, thank you so much, Precious, for coming live with me. Precious is also part of the team at the TIP Academy. Precious would also be teaching a part of that masterclass with myself, and then the amiable, amazing Taiwa Kinlami would also be teaching on the things you need to, the safety precautions you must take in choosing a school. Don't just go and dump your child in any school. Don't go and put your child in that your children's neighbor's school. Biko, That your children's neighbor school, your neighbor might not even know what it is that he is doing. And you don't walk up, you just say, oh, you don't move to the new area. Oh, wow. Is that the school your children are? Oh, wow. Please let me just take my children there. And boom, you go there. Your neighbor might not necessarily know what it is that they are doing. So please, come and attend the masterclass. It's going to help you a lot. If you want to be part of that masterclass and you are watching us on YouTube, you can see details in the description of the video. And you can also, yes, we left. Gladys is asking, can we pay 5K now? You can pay 5K in 24 hours. It's only open for 24 hours. We're opening it again 24 hours from now. After that, no, please. After that, no, please. All right. How do you unlearn my child? Honestly, I'm guilty of this. My son watches television and not interested in learning at all. Adeze, meet us privately for further learning. We have done with the free class. All right. So that's where we are. Okay. So your learning is a lot, but the master class is going to help you a lot. That's a good place to start with, and then we will, work on it. All right. So thank you again for coming live with me. Thank you, Precious. Thank you, everybody. Just know that the replay of this session will be available. You can watch it. You can share it to your friends. Whenever you're watching it, it is shareable. All right. If you're watching it on my timeline, I think I streamed on my timeline this time. You can share it. If you're watching it on my on our YouTube channel, you can share the link. If you're watching it on the community, invite your friends. Let them come and hear. There's a lot to learn, really, in parenting. This is just one tiny aspect. And there's just so much. Come in, we'll teach you about mindset, we'll teach you about learning, we'll teach you about safety, and we'll teach you about making school choices. It's a topic that I have never taught anywhere before, and I'm going to be teaching it for the first time to the parents in the inner circle this weekend. If you want to join us, you need to pay. The parents in the inner circle don't get to pay. Yes, that's how we roll. But of course, if you are not in the inner circle, you need to pay to attend the master class. We're opening up for you to come and have a taste of what it is that happened in there. That's one. Number two, to also learn what it is that you can do with your children. All right. Somebody's asking, how do you register for inner circle? All you need to do for you to register for the inner circle is send me a chat. You can see the number scrolling down. You can see the number scrolling down. Simply send the chat to me, and then you will get the details to join. You can't join this year, all right? You can't join this year. We don't, our academic year, entrance is not entry. We are no longer taking people, all right, until the next academic. We just started taking people for the next academic year. So if you are joining us, you are joining us for the next academic year, which, by the way, is December 1st, 2021. All right. So for the next academy, but you need to book a slot, because right now we have the first batch, we have the first batch done. So you want to actually join in. Okay. You want to join in at the inner circle 2022. Book a slot now and be very, very, very fast. I'm having serious issues with the television thing with my son. How do I engage him differently? Come to the master class. Come to the master class, baby. Come to the master class, baby, and we'll show you how.
We're waiting for you.
How. All right, we're waiting for you at the master class this weekend. Simply get on and come to the master class. Thank you again, Precious, for your time. We don't take it for granted. Thank you to everybody who listening to us. We do not take it for granted. So we see you at the master class on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Do not miss it. And hey, to all of you yarders, I see you guys. See you inside the yard. All right, Precious. See you inside the yard, the inside of the yard of the yard.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Was glad being here.
Right. Okay. All righty. So thank you so much, everybody. And see you again on Tuesday next week at 2 p.m.